Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all feeling? I hope all is well with you. We're here with another story time, story time. But before we get into the story time, know that all things are alleged. Every commentary piece is in my opinion, is for entertainment purposes and commentary purposes only. Um let's get into this story time. Oh, and don't forget y'all, hit that like button. Please subscribe. Let's get these subscriber numbers up, please. But without further ado, we're gonna get into this story time. I haven't watched it, so we'll be doing it together, getting a live reaction, because when I say I haven't watched a lick of it, I mean I haven't watched a lick. So let's get into it. Let me share my screen. Give me a second, y'all. Here we go. And we're gonna get started.
Okay, y'all. So I decided to do a story time. So it's taken a lot for me to even like talk about this at all, you guys, because it is embarrassing. This happened about between 2019 and 2021. This is the time frame. So this is not right now, but I just had to kind of put that disclosure in.
Because people will
All
act
right, so boom.
slow.
So basically, in 2019, my leg was broken. I was in a wheelchair, and this was probably like one of the lowest parts of my life. So basically, towards maybe about December, November, December ish, I started talking to this guy, and I actually met him through this like app. I think it's called Vigo. Like from years ago, my best friend actually told me about it. And I was in the house anyway. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. So she invited me to this app. So I was on Bigo. I was checking it out. And then, my best friend was telling me, like, oh, join this panel or whatever. Now, back then, I didn't know what the panels were. So basically, like, the panels is when you get to talk to, like, multiple people at the same time. So I was talking to multiple people at the same time on the video chat. We're all cammed up, joking, playing games, this, that, and the third. So I started getting familiar with this app because at this point I'm just bored at home, not doing anything, and it really was like entertaining.
You know what that kind of reminds me of, y'all? I might be dating myself saying this, but y'all remember the party line? I don't know how far the party line went as far as, nationwide, but there used to be a thing called the party line that people will call into and just be talking to mad random people. That's what that reminds me of. But it sounds like they are actually on cam, which obviously is a new day and age thing because we didn't have that back then. Um, but it sounds like a good time if single, ready to mango.
So I start going on the app. And then all of a sudden, I just happen to just go on someone's panel, and I see this guy, and I thought he was kind of cute or whatever. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and send him a little bit of beans. You know what I'm saying? I'm sending everybody beans like on the panel. Like, what I thought he was cute, but I'm sending everybody beans. And that's like the form of currency, I guess, that how they make their money on that app.
Okay.
So boom. So right after that, quickly, I noticed that he looks at my, pictures on there. He was like, "Oh, hey, I guess he like what he see," and then he just messaged me or whatever on the app. So I'm like, you know what I mean? So once we started talking on the phone, and then we finally decided to FaceTime each other. So once we FaceTime each other, and he seemed like, "Hey, oh, she's not a catfish," this, that, and the third. So I see he's not a catfish, and the attraction was very strong, you guys. Okay, like it was very, very strong, y'all. Like it was very, very strong. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so at this point, now that we've introduced each other virtually, because at this point I live in Delaware and he lives in Atlanta. So, this relationship is like building. So we start FaceTiming every day, all day. I'm talking about every day, all day. We are FaceTiming all the time. Like I'm talking from morning to night. We are talking all day. So my bestie comes over. I'm not gonna put any real names out here. So for his name, I'm gonna put Derek. And then for my best friend's name, I'm gonna put Nicole. So So Nicole, one of my best friends, came over, and we hanging out, chilling, and everything. And she noticed that I'm on the phone with the person that I'm speaking to, right? That I met on Bigo. And then, she starts drinking, and then, she notices like we on FaceTime all day, and she's noticing like, bitch, hold on, like, why is he always in the car? And I'm like, he's a truck driver, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's always driving, he's always traveling, he's always, out of town. She's like, bitch, no, like, so he never goes home. Why is he always FaceTiming you in the car?
Ain't that crazy? We First off, people will make sure to accommodate their lies with some lies. Like, I don't know again the situation, but they go in knowing they might be seen in the car slash truck all the time. So then they already start putting it out there like, yeah, because I'm a truck driver. I just be working all the time. Come to find out he live in that car slash truck or something. But it's funny that she thought nothing of it, and a friend immediately was like, "Bitch, like what's wrong with you?" I think that's hilarious.
It's nighttime, right? And she was like, and I'm telling you, like, you know what I'm saying? I know how this shit go, type of stuff, right? Like,
Damn.
you know what I mean? I did this before. Like, I know how this shit go. So me being oblivious, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I believe that, he's like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, girl, if he's always in the car, every time you FaceTime you, and he's never talking to you in the house, girl, he lives with a bitch. I'm
Oh,
like, no, like, I don't think so, because we talk all the time, like, that's clearly impossible. She like, bitch, have that nigga show you a tour of his house, like, yesterday. Because he not about to be playing with my sister. Like, he not about to be playing with my sister, right?
that's right.
So I'm like, no, I don't think so. But then I started thinking, like, hold up, do he
Might-
live with a bitch?
Right.
So then I
Might
started
be
talking to
onto
him. I'm like,
something.
hey, I need a tour of this house because why are you always in the car every time we on the phone? Like, because at this point we've been talking, you know what I'm saying, like heavy, And he's like, I'm always working. Like, I have no problem. Like, I don't know what your homegirls talk about. I would book. So I'm like, show me that motherfucking house. So he gets on FaceTime again. And he actually showed me the tour of his house, right? It was nobody in there, but it did kind of look like a girl decorated it or maybe helped him decorate it. Because I'm like, so who decorated it? He goes, oh, my friend. Now, at this point, guys, hold on. Disclosure. At this point, nothing is official. We are not in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? We're just getting to know one another. So at this point, I'm feeling like, like, I'm gonna give him a pass. If a girl helped him decorate his house, then you know what I'm saying. What's the big deal? We're not together, so does it really matter?
But see, I wouldn't have gave
We were
him.
having like,
I wouldn't have gave him the heads up to be like, "Let me see your house," because then that gives him the opportunity to try to make it accommodating. I would dance around it to get him to eventually show me his house without him, like, it has to be on the spot type of stuff. Like, we ain't about to do this. Oh, okay, on Tuesday, like scheduled. No, because he know what time his girls is gonna be out the house, etc. If that is the case, and so he's gonna obviously do what he need to do to get around that. You don't never show or let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, and that's a prime example of that. You play you play your cards right. Chess, not checkers.
deep ass conversations. I'm talking about like deep, spiritual. Like it was, it was to the point like he would know things before I knew about myself. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like it was crazy like that. Like where it was like we was really connected. And I didn't expect to get that type of like connection for real. So, things are getting deeper, and I decided to make a song about this nigga. I made a song about him, and he was so amazed. He was like, "Oh my god, I didn't even know you could sing." So we was just connected on a whole different fucking planet, bitch. Like we, and he was some fine shit too. So it was just like we was just like he was attracted to me, I was attracted to him. Like it was just so fucking intense, right? So he tells me, he loves me and everything. And I'm like, shit, I think I'm in love with you too. Because at this point, it's been like a few months. And then, no physical touch or anything has happened. Just mainly talking on the phone. This was during the pandemic. So, like flights were cheap. People were scared to take flights. So it was cheap to go to Atlanta, So I did that. I did. I picked my own flight. That flight was like $40. So I was like, and I was just so into. And let me just make this clear too. So I didn't just I'm getting the flight today. No. So we talked about it. We discussed it. And prior to me getting a flight, he was buying me food all the time. He was sending me money all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was actually courting me.
It was
Even though
mutual.
he was in Atlanta, like he was definitely sending me money. He was giving me flowers for no reason. He would buy me food all the time. Like, it was cool. So all these things, plus us video chatting and talking on the phone all the time about some deep, heavy ass shit. Like he confided in me about some deep stuff. I confided in him about some. I think we kind of like trauma bonded, so it kind of made it more intense. So boom, fast forward, I'm on the flight and I go to Atlanta.
Wait.
Now hold on.
I want to first talk about one thing that she just said, and people use this term in the wrong context all the time. Trauma bonding isn't bonding with someone who went through something similar than you. Trauma bonding is someone doing something to you and then you're bonded to them. For example, there was a story of a guy that kidnapped his son his son's friend, like neighborhood friend, and went out of town, had her locked up in a hotel and everything. And after a while, he AB'd her, he did all types of stuff. And when police finally found her, she was like bonded. She didn't want to tell on him. She didn't want to separate herself from him. Not because she actually felt for him, but that trauma caused some type of bond. So I just want to throw that out there.
Before I even start, keep this in mind, y'all. So within the first 2 weeks of us speaking, like texting or whatever, and us talking or whatever, it was late one time and I had texted him and then, he texted me back, but it was a picture of him sleeping and the text message said, he's asleep. The text message said he's asleep underneath a picture of him sleeping in his bed, right? So I'm like, so of course, as any other female, any other woman that's, about to start getting into it or whatever with a person, with a man, you see some shit like that, it's like, oh, fuck no, you got me fucked up.
Right.
Who the fuck is taking a picture of you and sending it to me and saying, oh, he's asleep?
Right.
So, I cursed him the fuck out and I'm like, yeah, I don't got time for shit like that. Like, don't ever, don't speak to me again. I ain't got time for that, right? So he then sends me a screenshot. So the plot thickens, okay? So at this point, I'm done with this nigga. Like, you're playing games. I don't have time for shit like that. So at this point, I wake up, this nigga sends me a message with a screenshot of messages of somebody like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to mess up what you got going on, this and the third. I just wanted to let her know that she was asleep. My bad. It will never happen again, right?
Don't tell
okay.
me.
So at first, I don't know what to think because the person in the message is like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like,
That dude diabolical. If you ask me, he took a second phone, which most people have two phones nowadays, at least two phones. And he might have texted himself trying to make it seem like someone innocently sent that picture. Why would anyone be around you to the point where they could even let her know that you was asleep? Nah, bruh.
So I'm like, well, who the fuck is that? Like, who is that? And he goes, oh, it's someone I let rent the room out, whatever. It's my homeboy type shit, whatever. So at this point,
You
I let it
believe
go.
them.
I saw the screenshot. I'm good. I know. I know what you're about to say.
We were all
Bitch, what the
blinded
fuck
one
is wrong
time.
with you? At this point, I was already, I don't know. I felt like, I don't know, it was a special connection. And at this point, and at that point, I'm like, okay, like, he showed me the proof, sisters. He showed me the proof. Somebody said, sorry. I mean, sorry
Sorry.
for sending that picture. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to fuck up what y'all got going on. So I was like, okay, I was content with that at the time being.
Hmm.
So, so then I got my happy ass on that motherfucking flight, bitch. I got on that plane. I sat my black ass on that plane and I flew to Atlanta. We were having like deep ass conversations. I'm talking about like
Okay,
deep
sorry. That's the
spiritually.
next one.
It was it was to the point we were having like deep ass conversations. I'm talking about like deep spiritual. And I'm gonna just say
Another one.
this: we listen and we don't judge. Okay. We all done did some backyard ass shit before. And let me tell you
Ain't
something.
lying.
This story about to be long as fuck. How many parts is about to be? But girl, this is a long ass relationship. So it's just like, it was 2 years. This is 2 years worth of information. So we starting off from the beginning. And I'm gonna just say that. Okay, so part three. I get to Atlanta, everything goes smooth. We had a good time. I come back home. So this trip pretty much like solidifies everything, right? So I get back home, we're still talking, we're still doing. Now I'm planning a trip to Miami. Keep this in mind, y'all. So this was gonna be his first time in Miami and my first time in Miami, right? So he meets me there. I planned a trip to Miami because I was trying to, get some surgery. Get there, I actually ended up rescheduling my surgery, so we was just there to have fun at this point. So the trip went well, and from that point on, he started coming to my house, like flying out to my house every other weekend. So fast forward, maybe like months after this, I go back to Miami, for the surgery. He was supposed to come, but he couldn't because he had to go work. But he did help me fund everything, excluding the surgery, but he paid for everything else, which was great. So this is when shit kind of starts to take a little turn. So after I get my surgery and everything and I fly back home, this nigga actually comes to my house that same weekend, when he was off to help me out, and do everything for me while I'm recovering. He goes back that Monday. So usually he leaves on Sundays. He comes in on Fridays. He flies in on Fridays and leaves on Sundays. So this particular time, he actually stayed an extra day. So he actually left on Monday. So, in the same sense, through all of this, the house is still a mystery to me at this point. Because one, I can't really say too much about anything because at this point, I'm not in Atlanta yet. I have not moved there yet. I'm still living in Delaware and he lives in Atlanta. So basically, it's just always a mystery of what is going on in that house? Like, why haven't I gotten an invite to this house? Like, you've been coming to my house for how long now, and I still haven't been to your house. So that was always a thing. He would say, "Oh, me and my roommate, or the man that he was renting the room to, oh, we made an agreement that we wouldn't have any company or anything like that, right?" Mind you, he said it's a man. What roommate that's a dude really gonna give a fuck about your girl coming over there? Like, so that was just really
Exactly.
mind boggling, and it was really driving me nuts, like literally. So the following Wednesday, after he leaves, something told me in my spirit, let me go ahead and do like a little search or something because I'm trying to figure some shit out. So I started investigating. Shit gets sticky here, okay? So I search up his information. I know his name, I know his address. Come to find out, I find a lady's name there attached to his with the same address that he's given me, right? So I'm just confused at this point because I'm like, okay, so who is this? So
Dudes
I
be
took the
so
name that I
simple.
saw and I searched it on Facebook. And I don't know who I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. But
If you have something to hide, right? You know you live with your girl, your wife, whatever the case may be. Why would she even have your addy? Because what if she was that type of chick to pop up? Like, these dudes don't be thinking. I, I think they think if they give them the address, that'll suffice, like, it'll satisfy the need to want to be over there. And granted, I'm not a pop up type of person, but there's plenty of people who are.
But at this point, I'm like, maybe I'm searching for his baby mom because I do know he has a daughter, right? So, click on a few pages, finally find the page. Now, mind y'all, he just left my house 2 days ago. So I find her page, and then something caught my eye. I actually see a video. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, and I knew what his daughter looked like. So I'm like, okay, so this must be, his baby mother's page. So I click on the video because I noticed a black figure that I recognized far left by the water playing Brady Bunch. Like, you see the dog, you got the family. This is looking like a family vacation in Miami where he was just at. So at this point, I'm just confused because I'm like, hold the fuck up. Okay, you just left my house Monday. It's Wednesday. I'm seeing this. Hold the fuck up. So I'm trying to call this nigga. He not answering the phone. So I'm not gonna lie. I reacted to the video. Because I was like, what the fuck? Because let me just make this clear too. He told me that his baby mother, they just co-parent. They're not together. She
That's
even
what
knew
they
about
always
me.
say.
So at this point, I'm thinking like, okay, like, you don't have no baby mama drama. Cool. Like, so at this point, I'm a little bit confused as to like why this lady is posting my nigga as like a family unit when she allegedly knows about me and knows that he's in a relationship, right? As soon as I fucking react to that post, Shorty came in my inbox bucking like, bitch, don't you ever in your motherfucking life, you and him got going on has nothing to do with me. That is y'all business, right? So I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I was mad toxic. So me and her are going back and forth. Like, we are dragging each other by each other's lace fronts, bitch. Like, we are going back and forth because I was being mad immature at that point. Because I'm thinking, like, why are you posting somebody else's nigga if you know that they're with somebody? Like, that shit is weird as fuck. Like, so.
Let's be clear, y'all. See, this is the cycle we get into. It's your assumption that she knows based on what you were told, right? That's fair. But at the same time, you don't know what she may have been told or what's what. So to kind of start going at her, it's not right. Your beef should have been with him from Jump Street, from Jump. Because even if she is posting him out of pocket and it ain't that, your beef is still with him because why is he allowing that? People will do what you allow them to do. So by him allowing her to post, if it wasn't that, that's him. That's him causing that chaos. It's his job to let her know, like, listen, we might co-parent, but we ain't a unit, so please don't give off the illusion that we are. Especially if he's talking to somebody, that would be his fight, not yours, child. And I'm not blaming her because we've all done, dumb stuff or whatever, but I'm just hoping we can learn and teach the next.
We going back and forth. We're going back and forth. And then, she then says, and this is the one thing that just set me off. She was like, I mean, not right now because, we sleep right now. Bitch! Bitch, she got me. Bitch, she ate that one little thing. That bitch, she ate that one little thing. Like, she ate that one little thing. Girl, that shit caught me in my fucking soul, bitch. Like, I was so fucking hurt. And I was in a whole different state. So once she said that, I'm fucking blacking the fuck out. I'm blowing up this nigga phone. I'm going to fuck off. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is really good? Like, what is going on? I'm seeing videos, this, that, and the third. I'm going back and forth with her. Like, what the fuck is good? Like, what do y'all live together? Like, what's happening? It's mine. Like, I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, ah! Okay, so part 3. I get to Atlanta, everything goes smooth. We have part 4. So at this point, I'm just like, okay. She acknowledged. I'm still kind of confused because I'm like, she's like, whatever y'all got going on, that's y'all business. But it's just like, so are y'all together? Are y'all not together? Are y'all in an open relationship? Like, what is going on? So I still don't even have clarity on that, So I reach out to him And I finally get an answer, and I'm telling him everything that's going on. I'm blacking out. I'm going dumb. Like, I'm cursing the fuck out. Like, yo, what the fuck is really going on? So then he goes, I don't know what she's talking about. She's lying. We haven't been together in 3 years. Mind you, in the beginning of the relationship, when I said, oh, how long ago was your last relationship? He's like, it was 3 years ago. And the daughter was, I think she was like 7 at the time. So it was like, okay, it's been some time since, y'all been together. So he's saying, we haven't been together in 3 years. He don't know what's going on. He don't know what she's talking about. And to top it off, he's saying like the only reason I allow her to post me was because she got like some type of crazy ex-boyfriend or something like that be stalking her. So I'm contemplating at this
Oh
point
my
because
gosh.
it's like on one hand, she did know who I was. She name dropped and was like, whatever y'all got going on is, y'all business. But at the same time, it's like, but then she tried to throw shots and stuff. So so then he tells me the reason why he can't talk on the phone at night past a certain time is because basically him and his baby mama switch roles. So he goes to be with the baby and then, you know, she has to go to work. So that's why he's not able to be on the phone because, or he has to leave because most of the time, like, it's only them out here. So they rotate when it comes to taking care of the daughter when either one of them works, right? So at this point, I'm like, okay, so why is it that every time you pull up home, you can never be on the phone? Like, it's always the thing where, oh, I gotta go, this, that, and the third. In my mind, I'm like, so you can't talk on the phone around your daughter? Like, this is so weird. Like,
Red
what?
flag.
And keep in mind, y'all, like, at this point of this conversation, we've been in a relationship for a while. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure things out, and then I feel like my feelings have already been invested in it. Now, I left some details out because I'm not looking to expose anybody, tell anybody's personal things that you can find it in me. So you would think that I would be done, right? Like, you would think, like, okay, like, it's over with. No, unfortunately, it's not. I thought it was over at that moment. I blocked him and everything. And it's crazy because it's like, love will really make you do some crazy shit that you would never even do or tolerate. You know
You
what I'm
ain't
saying? Like,
lying.
this shit was absolutely crazy. He had an explanation for everything, literally had proof of everything. Now that I think about it, he probably was texting himself when he sent me them screenshots. So keep in mind, we were actually
See?
planning for me to move to Atlanta at this point, prior to this, right? Like, he's talking about he want to have children and all types of stuff. And I know, don't even. So a lot has been invested in this relationship, like emotions, time, money, effort, everything. But I thought it was over. I went through my little heartbreak moment. He was trying to reach me on like Instagram and stuff like that because I blocked him on my phone. So he was trying to call me through block numbers, all types of stuff. I wasn't answering. And we had been planning for me to move to Atlanta. It was already in progress. Like, I already, saw some places, already applied, already got approved at this point. So yeah, so that's when this big explosion happened. Like, when I was in the process of relocating. Now, I did always want to move to Atlanta in general for my music and stuff, but it was a plus that I had somebody here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel like I would be by myself. So I make a post on Instagram, just a post like my keys to my new place in Atlanta. I had one of my close friends drive me down here with all my shit in the truck. And, I moved into my place and he happened to see that post. And so the saga continues. He sees the post. He goes, oh my gosh, you're actually in Atlanta. Mind you, we haven't spoken in like a few weeks at this point since our big blow up with the whole, Facebook video thing and the Miami trip, the family vacations, all that. So, he asked where I am, like, where did you move to? What's the address? Let me come see you or whatever, right? Literally was like putty in his hands, man. Like, it was just like, love will really make you do some fucking stupid shit. Cause I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, you can come see me, whatever. But I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna just get some closure or whatever to the situation. Like, cause it's been about like 3 weeks at this point. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, I guess I'm gonna get some closure and stuff like that, and I'm determined to see what the fuck is really going on. Because despite, that argument with, his ex, it was no like she didn't confirm or deny anything. Like it was like she disappeared after that. You know what I'm saying? And I had no proof. I needed proof. Like, I don't know, this situation was driving me nuts. So I'm like, yo, I need to find out what the fuck is really going on because what the fuck? And now I'm in Atlanta, so you really can't lie to me like that because I'm right here. I'm here. So he comes over and he tells me, congratulations. I see you got your plates out here and stuff. And that little weird, awkward moment when you haven't seen like someone that you were with in a few weeks or you haven't spoken and it's still like some unspoken issues or whatever. And I'm just so embarrassed. Like, I'm so embarrassed because, y'all, so at this point, I got a lot more than some closure. Matter of fact, nothing was closed at this point, if you get my drift. And it's so much more to unravel. He got me, y'all. But before he got me, though, he did tell me, like, listen, I've been telling you the truth the whole time. Like, we literally only co-parent. We haven't been together in 3 years. I never cheated on you. I mean, just really talk me out my drawers, y'all. Part 4. Okay, y'all. So this is part 5. Not too much of my moon, y'all, okay? I woke up, I seen all these comments about part 5. So you're gonna take. So in this part, I just want to kind of clarify certain things to kind of give context on how I even got to this point, how I even got involved with this person, like how I even thought this was like a serious relationship, because, and I'm not saying no names, y'all don't even know who I'm talking about at this point. So yeah. So let's rewind. Let me give some context. This is the type of relationship that it was that made me feel like this was a serious relationship, and this was serious, like this was real for me, right? So he would fly in for my birthday. He would fly in for different occasions. He was at my house all the time. He was going out all the time. He would take me out of town. Like, we did some special things for each other. So for example, so he had confided in me and told me that he was locked up for 2 years. And one of those years happened to be his 21st birthday. He always felt like he never got a cake. He never, got celebrated or anything like that. So I actually got him a cake from Cold Stone, saying happy 21st birthday. I cooked, I had balloons. I just made it like really special when he came into town this one time. He started crying like, no one's ever done this for me. You really are my heart. You're my world. You really are home for me. Like, this is his favorite word. You're my heart. You're my heart. Like, this is his favorite fucking word, y'all. So that was the type of relationship that it was. Like, we was really sharing, information and all types of stuff. So fast forward, I forgot to mention this very important part that probably thickens up the plot, but hey, it's whatever. So the first time in Miami, remember in the previous video when I said we had that Miami trip and he told me something? Well, he told me that, even though he told me he had a daughter, he knows that biologically it's not his daughter. So at first I was upset about it because I'm like, why would you lie about that? Like, why would you lie about, having a biological daughter? But then in the same sense, I quickly switched my tune because I'm like, you know what? That's actually commendable. You know what I'm saying? Like, to have such a rapport with a kid, with someone you used to date, and then, you still claiming them as your daughter, like, that's cool. And the daughter knows too. So I thought that was like, okay, these are good characteristics of a good potential, like, father, right? So that's how I took it when he first told me. You know what I'm saying? He told me this house was his. He told me that the room was rented by a guy or some shit like that. That's what I was told. And sometimes he would FaceTime me in his house. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he was there, he would FaceTime me in his house. So I'm not thinking anything of it at this point. This is prior to me even moving to Atlanta. So every time we had a conversation, like, I would talk about that house. The house was always an issue. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. But when you're in a long distance situation, it's kind of like you can't really prove anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really prove anything. You're just going by a person's word until you're actually like physically there, right? He would even say little stuff like, yeah, like, I had to drop my daughter off today and I spoke to, my daughter's mother about you. And I think it's so cool that we could just talk about stuff like that. Like, he made it seem like shit was cool with them. Like, she knew about me and, it's all a cool thing because I have kids and, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't happen. Like, I'm not sleeping with them. So that's why I felt like, okay, this is a real thing, right? And then when she said the whole thing of whatever y'all got going on, that's y'all business. So I'm like, okay, so you know about me. So at that point, maybe I was being delusional. I probably was being a little delulu. No, a lot of delulu. Okay,
Yeah, a
don't
lot.
stop me doing that.
A lot's good.
Okay, but in my head, I'm like, okay, like, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, okay, like everything is cool. So, and another thing I forgot to mention too. So before I even moved there, he told me his daughter's birthday was in August, right? I moved to Atlanta October 2020. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So, he told me that her birthday, she was turning, I think, like 10 or something. And he told me that she's into dance school, and she likes to make TikToks, stuff like that. I thought that was so cute. She's a cute little girl. She's a beautiful little girl. So I was like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. And at this point, this is after, like, me and her had got into it or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make a peace offering, because it's like, okay, I'm with this nigga. So I want it to be peaceful. Like, I didn't like the way we left off before. You know.
I think us women do this often. There's nothing wrong with loving a child that is the child of someone you're dating or whatever. But I feel like we overdo it trying to like prove our love for the guy by overdoing whatever the kid needs. Oh, she likes or he likes da 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 da. Oh, and here you go going above and beyond, getting everything. Oh, they like dance. They want to be in gymnastics. I'll sign them up. And it's just like, chill. We gotta chill. And again, nothing wrong with being kind, but there's definitely like a thin line for overdoing it. In my opinion, when it comes to someone else's child, I don't, and this is just my opinion because I'm not in her head. I don't know what her intent was, but in my opinion, it wasn't to kind of give an olive branch to the mom. It was to show that dad, quote unquote dad, that she's willing to be that mom that, not that the child needs, because the child already has her own mom, but the extra, the bonus mom. She's willing to go above and beyond to do that, in my opinion.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we really, I'm not gonna lie, I violated so bad where, like, I did, because I felt like she was coming at me. So it was just like, I dragged her. Like, I'm not that same person anymore, but I dragged her real bad. So I got her daughter a ring light, for a content scene. That he told me that, that she wants to do content,
And
and
I
you know
tell
what I'm
y'all,
saying? Like,
we'll go
she
buying
likes to
all
make
types of
TikToks and stuff
stuff.
like that. So I thought that was a cute thing to get her. It was a really nice ring light. I got it from Amazon. And I can honestly say, subliminally, maybe I just wanted to see the reaction, because I ordered it from Amazon and I shipped it directly over there. And I put, for the birthday girl,
Mm,
So, I tell him this,
I wonder how
and he
mom's gonna
seemed
take
calm,
it.
like he didn't freak out or nothing. He was like, okay, cool. Like, when is it coming? I'm telling him, like, what the tracking information is saying and all that type of stuff. So, he gets the gift and he's like, thank you. She loves it so much, this, that, and the third. I told her that you got it. And, like, she's really excited about it. So at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she knows about me. And da, 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 da. I'm so hyped. So I'm like, oh, she knows about me, and everything is cool, right? And let me just say this too. Let me just add this. So this is before I even moved. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving y'all context as to what kind of relationship this was and what kind of delusional situation I was in. Okay, like when I tell you this man was good, this nigga had an answer for
That's
everything,
how they be.
explanation for
Everything.
everything.
They'll
It was really
swindle you.
sick. I really feel bad, but like I don't even know. Like I haven't heard from him in a while, but it's like I really hope that we'll get to that at the end. Talking about marriage, asking me like, you want to get married, trying to get me pregnant. Like shit was like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not thinking, you know what I'm saying, that he's cheating or he's doing other things, because this is what's happening. Like I even had a miscarriage by this nigga. You know
Damn.
what I'm saying? And I think that was God's protection.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm gonna keep it brief on this. This is just a background check, a context clues, whatever. I gotta go to Bible study, but I will upload part 6 after that. But I just wanted to kind of give y'all something until I come back. But not to mention, when I first moved there to Atlanta, and I got there, and in Georgia, you have to have like pretty much everything is separated. So up north, if people from up north know, well, people from up north know, like the bills are separate. I mean, the bills are all together. So like electricity and gas is together up north. Here in Georgia, you literally got to pay everything separate. The trash, the electricity, the gas, everything is literally separated. So I didn't even have gas on in my apartment the first night I got there. I had to wait for them to come and turn it on. I told this nigga that. You would think your man would be like, oh, just come stay at my spot, until they turn the gas on, right? Because it was cold as fuck in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what this nigga did?
What? I know you're gonna
This
tell
nigga
us.
got me a portable heater for $30 and came and dropped it off. Stayed for a little bit. Was like, okay, I gotta get on the road. He was a truck driver. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he says it's too cold in here. I can't be in here with you. He left you. I would say high and dry, but cold. Okay, he just left you cold.
And like he did installs and stuff like that. So I didn't know that for a fact, right? So I'm like, and at this point, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This nigga, after begging me to move here, oh, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so different. Oh, we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be doing that. Everything, right? Y'all. And the crazy thing about this whole situation is it doesn't end here, right? But in my mind, I'm so delusional because I'm like, well, Shorty said that, whatever we got going on is our business. So at this point, it's like, okay, so you know what I'm saying? Do y'all understand the confusion? Like, I don't know, but that was my confusion at that point, like, because it was that, and then it was just like he was at my house, stuff like that. So this is just a background, okay? I didn't mean for this video to be long as fuck like this, but I just want to give that part. Part 6 coming.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there. I can't fault the young lady. I don't know how old she is, but either way, I can't fault her. I think we've all been fooled, bamboozled, hoodwinked by some guy, and for the fellas, some girl, or whatever your preference is. We've all been hoodwinked before. And I feel like we will hold on to any explanation to justify what we know is wrong. We know in the depth of our souls that this is wrong. It there's so many flags. The field is no longer green. It's just red. Okay? All the flags that we see, but we will turn our head and act like the bleachers is the playing field. I don't see no flags. Flags where? Huh? Who said something? We will find every excuse under the sun to justify being with who we want to be with. It just be us. It just be us because we want what we want when we want it, how we want it at the time we want it. Oh, it be we be our own demise. We be our own downfall. But it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. We live and we learn. As long as you ain't just making silly excuses all the time and constantly reliving, or making bad decisions time after time after time, then I mean, it is what it is. It is what a TI is. But y'all let me know what y'all think of this lady's story in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If she does give updates, I will follow through with some more of this video. But let me know what y'all think so far in the comment section. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Listen, I like chocolate girl, all shades, different flavors. She a diamond and a pearl. She a goddess with a mentor, yeah. Cinnamon swirl. She relate to what I've been through, yeah. Queen of my world.